Friends, today Covenant Designs is excited to bring you something special. We've got an interview with Dr. Sandy Gluckman. She is an expert in leadership. She's a leadership development, a coach, a trainer, and a specialist. And she's got some very vital distinctions on how to present your business's products and services in a way that's really going to engage with the hearts, the minds, and the pocketbooks of your customers. So let's watch.
Hi, I'm Dr. Sandy Gluckman. I get asked often what kind of communication gets the best results in business. This is a great question. People also ask me all the time, how come that some people can engage with others so easily? They communicate in a way that seems to bring others in, that creates a relationship based on authenticity and openness and honesty, and yet others seem to be unable to do this. They communicate in a way that tends to switch people off and disengage them. So here's the deal, folks. There are two kinds of communication. There is what I refer to as spirited communication or ego communication. And that's really basically because we have two sides to our personality. And when we communicate with spirit, it will always come out as energetic, as real, as collaborative and engaging. When we speak from our spirit, we engage the spirit of someone else. And we ask them things about, what's your goals? What are your dreams? And we would automatically, when we are spirited, think about how can we synergize with this person in a way that we both achieve our goals together. The ego communication does exactly the opposite. It's always thinking about me, my, I. It's always talking about my goals and doesn't communicate in a way that really inspires others to engage with us in any kind of meaningful or successful way. So when it comes to business, obviously we're looking to communicate in spirited ways. We want to touch the spirit of that customer or the spirit of our employees, and we want to bring them on board in a way that we can both make magic happen. So having heard that, you may ask me, Dr. Gluckman, why does ego-driven communication not work? And here's why. I guess you could even think of many, many occasions when you have been on the receiving end of somebody's ego. Do you remember that? It didn't feel very comfortable. You feel like that person's not even present with you. They're not seeing you, they're not hearing you, they're not feeling you. It's really all about them. And the effect that it has on you is that it just switches you off. It tunes you out. And so I think it's really important for us to understand we do not want to do that to our customers, obviously. And, you know, let me tell you a statistic that blew me away that I read recently. It was a Gallup survey which said that more than half of the employees of the United States of America today in the corporate world are tuned out and switched off because of the ego of leaders in the organization. That means we have got more than 22 million switched off employees, which is costing the American economy $350 billion a year. Guys, that's all a result of ego. So business leaders are asking me, how do I go about making my social media communications more spirited? And I'm going to give you two critical steps of action. The first one is recalibrate your mindset. Because I think there is a mindset about spirit that is not constructive. I think that leaders in business need to understand that from 2010 onwards, the ability to ignite the spirit of your employees and your customers is going to create much more success for you. I call this spirited economics. Really what it says is that spirit is a quantifiable financial asset. And the matter of fact is that the higher the level of spirit in the employees in your organization, the greater their ability to engage the spirit of the customers who become loyal customers, the greater the profit and the greater the revenue. That's what spirited economics is all about. So I think it's important for us to lay aside the old stereotypical and emotional definition of spirit as being something soft and fluffy and nothing to do with real business. In fact, it's the very opposite. Spirit is a powerful and critical business tool today. So that's the first step. Recalibrate your understanding of spirit and see it as what is going to give you the competitive edge. The second step is do an audit of the culture within your organization. And here, let me tell you why. The culture will determine the kind of communication and behavior that you're seeing in your company. So if internally you have spirited communication going on between leaders and employees in different departments, that means that you have got some real straight talk, open, honest communication, some sharing of ideas and insights, and this is very powerful. If you find in doing your audit of the culture that you do have spirited communication internally, guess what? It's going to just translate into your social media communication. It is going to become natural for you to communicate externally with spirit because you do it internally. If you discover, however, that internally there's a lot of ego-driven behavior and ego-driven communication happening, then that is a signal for you to change something, because it's going to be very difficult for you to communicate in your social media communications with spirit when internally there's a great deal of ego communication taking place. At this point, people are going to ask me, well, how can I then transform my communications paradigm into a more spirited influence message? Once again, I have 2 steps for you. And the first is take a look at the leadership in the organization, because the communication style of the leaders is going to flow from the top downwards and from the inside outwards. And so the style of the leaders is absolutely critical to your communications paradigm. Of course, this is pretty challenging, but at the same time, I think a courageous leader is open to saying, okay, teach me how to be more spirited in my communications. I truly believe that one of the greatest benefits you can give your organization is to teach your leadership spirited communication skills. And this is not a training program for the sake of leadership development. This is a strategic issue, because when your leaders know how to communicate in a way that engages the customer, that makes them feel recognized and important, that gives them the feeling that you care about them, then they will care about you. And that will reflect on the bottom line. So now you have leaders who have spirited communication skills, who are a strategic advantage to the company, and who gave that company a competitive edge. Second tip I'd like to give you, and that is check the values of your business or the values of your company, because these values will determine the kind of behaviors and communications that will emerge from your organization. I've been working recently with a company that has the most spirited values I've seen in years, and I'd like to share those with you. The first is be adventurous, creative, and open-minded. That's probably a definition of being spirited. Second value is chase the vision, not the money. The third value is be passionate and determined, be humble, have fun. For me, those kinds of values will determine the spirit in the organization and the kind of communication that emerges from that organization. And I'll tell you what, customers can feel that when they walk through the door. They can feel that you're open-minded and that you are having fun and that you are showing humility and that you're passionate and caring. And they will respond in exactly the same way.
Covenant Designs is a marketing communications firm, and we understand the difference between ego, spirit. We understand how to engage with people that elicits their trust and their confidence in you, so that you end up working with businesses that love to work with you, that appreciate the products and services you have to offer, and you're most profitable as a result. We offer website design and development. We offer all kinds of marketing, all kinds of communications. We also know how to apply all of this to social media marketing. whether it's your blog, whether it's your Twitter, whether it's using video in social media, in a way that's really going to be effective for you. So if you want to engage with us, we've got us at covenantdesigns.com and look forward to working with you soon.